Great moments are born from great opportunity.
You shouldn't have any doubt in your mind about what you're supposed to do tonight and about how you're supposed to do it.
This is your time.
No, I don't want them to gain another yard.
We gotta go out there and we gotta take it.
You take their game and you shove it right back in their face.
That's how winning is done.
Team is something you belong to, something you feel, something you have to earn.
If we don't come together,
It's over.
and I guarantee a week won't go by in your life you won't regret walking out, letting them get the best of it.
I'll ask you one last time.
To be the best that you can be.
Play like champions.
Win.
It's about heart. It's about who can go out there and play the hardest.
It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game. In my book, we're going to be winners.
In any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die,
Willing to take the hits.
who's going to win that inch.
Let me tell you something, you don't let
Nothing come between us.
On this team, we fight.
And we shut them down because we can.
Hey leaders, I hope you enjoyed that video. I just love watching anything around sports. When you hear coaches who really motivate their teams, it gets so exciting. It's just a fun thing to see. And we think about getting motivated and ready to go, right? Usually it's for a championship game. Now, the funny thing about this is that for us, we just had a tremendous year. And actually the last several years of our business have been really great years. I think we have become the highest volume Chick-fil-A entire Oklahoma for the last 2 years. We have had some of the best team and retention and the lowest turnover amongst the chain. We are in the entire Southwest region. We are in the top 25 as far as sales volumes, and in the entire chain, we are in the top 125 restaurants as far as sales volume and growth. And it is tremendous the amount of success that we have already had. But here's the thing, is great teams, they don't just hit the goal one time, they continue to hit it over and over. And so when we go into this 2023 year, one of the things that we are going to talk about is this focus of embodying a championship mindset, right? How do we continue not just to win one time, but win over and over and over again and continue to excel and succeed at a high level? Now, if you haven't had a chance, go back and watch our planning process video. This is going to really help you understand how do we even come up with a focus every year and what is the purpose of a focus. Now, remember, a focus is not to take the place of our mission and our vision, right? That is staying the same. I love sometimes that this idea that we want to make sure that we are married to the mission, but we date the methods. And our focus is kind of like a method. It is for this upcoming year, how do we plan to continue to live out the vision of our business throughout this next year? And so for 2023, we have this idea that we want to embody a championship mindset. Now, I want you to think about, when you think about embodying championship mindset, I want you to think about this one quote from Nick Saban. If you don't know Nick Saban is the coach for Alabama football, and he has had so much tremendous success there, an 80% win rate of the games that his teams play. In his time there, they have won 6 national championships. He has had 4 Heisman Trophy winners that have come out of Alabama, and this is what Nick Saban has to say about a championship mindset. He says, I think everybody should take the attitude that we're working to be a championship, that we want to be a champion in everything we do, every choice, every decision, everything that we do every day, we want to be a champion. And that's what it takes. Being a champion means having that mindset every day that we are going to be the best that we can be and that we are going to embody that mindset. Now, I want you to think about great teams, right? Think about either great players who've had a lot of success or great teams who continue to win and win over and over again. What are some of the attributes that you think about when you think of that team? When you think about those teams, there might be several attributes that come to your mind. For us, this year, we have 4 strategic bets, 4 attributes that we want to focus on that we think if we do this will help us embody that championship mindset. That first attribute that we want to talk about, the first strategic bet, is this idea of focusing on the fundamentals. It's knowing the basics. Now, I want to share this quote with you from John Wooden. John Wooden was the basketball coach for UCLA. He was there for over 27 years. Now, the amazing thing about his coaching career was in his last 12 years at UCLA, his men's basketball team won 10 national championships. That's right, 10 out of 12 years, his team was the national basketball championship in college basketball. Now, that is an amazing feat. And you would wonder, I wonder what Coach Wooden was coaching his team during that season. And here's actually a quote from Coach Wooden that I thought was pretty amazing. He said this, he says, it all begins with the socks. Success begins ground up. Now, what does that mean? What is going on here? Well, one of the things that John Wooden was known for was at the beginning of the season, he would take a practice to teach his players how to properly put on their socks and to tie their shoes. Now, you would think that is such a basic thing. Everybody at that level should know how to put on their socks and tie their shoes. Why would he spend time focusing on that? Because John Wooden actually knew there was a proper way to put on your socks and to tie your shoes to make sure that at the end of the game, when it really mattered, when things were going on, that his team members wouldn't get blisters from their socks not being put on properly, or that their shoes wouldn't come untied when they were trying to guard a player or make a play at the end of the game. John Wooden knew that it was about the fundamentals. It was focusing on the fundamentals, and that was a key important part. So what are the fundamentals for us at Chick-fil-A? Well, thankfully, we have an outline for those fundamentals, and that is what we call the Winning Hearts Everyday Strategy. Again, we have a great video, a leadership toolkit that you can go back and watch the Winning Hearts Everyday Strategy, but at its fundamental core, what it is that our fundamentals at Chick-fil-A is that we want to make sure that we're providing our guests with great food, fast and accurately, with genuine hospitality in a clean and safe environment. So those are our fundamentals, and we need to know those at the core if we want to embody the championship mindset. Now, the second strategic bet that we're going to talk about is preparing with playbooks. Great teams know the plays and they know how to run those plays and what needs to happen. I want to give you a good individual to look at, and you all know this this player, Michael Jordan, right? If you think about Michael Jordan, probably arguably one of the best basketball players. He won 6 NBA championships and he had 2 three-peats. That means 2 times he won national championships 3 years in a row, and he did that for 3 years, and then he won again another 3 years in a row. And it is just an incredible feat. It hasn't been done since he's had 14 NBA All-Star appearances, 5-time NBA MVP, 6-time MVP of the finals. And so arguably, again, one of the best basketball players. And this is what Michael Jordan had to say about preparation. He said, champions don't become champions when they win an event, but in the hours, the weeks, the months, and the years they spend preparing for it. So Michael Jordan knew that preparation was important. And so that's what we want to do in our business. We want to make sure that we are prepared every day. As leaders, you should be asking yourself the question is, if you don't see something happening in the business or something being done, the question should come is, what is our process for making sure that's done? And how do we know that is being done over and over? It's the whole idea of creating processes and systems through playbooks that we can execute consistently over and over, and there's no question about who needs to do what and when. All right. Now, the third strategic bet that we're going to talk about is this idea of excelling at execution. Now, when you think about excelling at execution, it's great to have all the fundamentals that you know. It's great to be prepared with playbooks. But if we do not execute on those playbooks, if not every single person is doing their role and their responsibilities, then at the end of the day, we will not have that championship mindset. So I want to show you this clip here of this Formula One pit stop. Now, this is going to happen really quick. So as you see this video begin to play out, I want you to pick one or two people, and I just want you to watch what they do during this pit stop. All right, so take a look. All right, as you got a chance to watch that pit stop, wasn't that amazing? An average Formula One pit stop usually lasts between 2 to 2.5 seconds, right? Anything above that, that might be the difference between a driver winning or losing a race. Now, as you were watching your individual in that video, what was really interesting, you probably noticed, is that everybody had a very specific role. And sometimes those roles seem pretty simple, right? It was just maybe stopping the car, maybe just changing out a tire. Maybe one person was just lifting the car up. One person probably was just standing there making sure that everything was happening the right way. But you notice everybody had a very specific role to excel at execution. And they're all supporting one another to helping each other win. They all knew exactly what they needed to do and what success looked like. And so that is what we want to do in our organization. We want to make sure that we are excelling at execution, that every single person knows what they need to do, when they need to do it, how they need to do it. When we are all firing on all cylinders like that and working together, we are going to see ourselves excel at execution, and we're going to see our organization really embody that championship mindset. Now, the fourth strategic bet that I want to talk about today is this idea of building the bench, right? Great teams often have a really great bench of players that are ready to step up. Maybe if one of the starters gets injured, maybe if when there needs to be a rotation of people, that you have other people in place ready to step up. And so I want to end with this final quote from a quarterback, a player in the National Football League. His name is Tom Brady. Maybe you've heard of him. Well, if you don't know about Tom Brady, he's actually been in 10 Super Bowls. He's actually won 7 of those Super Bowls in his career. But what most people don't know, or maybe forget about Tom Brady, is he actually didn't start off as a starting quarterback. He was actually originally the backup to another great quarterback named Drew Bledsoe. But Drew unfortunately got injured, and during his injury, Tom Brady had to step up as a quarterback, and he was prepared, he was ready, and he did a great job and ended up taking over the starting quarterback position, and we know his career since then. And this is what Tom Brady had to say. He said, "I thought I would never get a chance to play until one day I did, because I was prepared and the opportunity presented itself." So we know as an organization, if we want to have and embody a championship mindset, we really need to make sure that we are building a bench of players, a bench of leaders who are ready to step in at any point and take on the responsibilities and the opportunities that are presented before them. So I look into this next year and I am so excited. You all have done a tremendous job. You all have climbed the mountain, and you all are at the top of the mountain as far as success goes and performance. But we don't want to stop there. We don't want to just be settle and just know that we did it one time. We want to continue to do it year over year. We want to continue to strive with excellence in our business and continue to give the best we can. And so that's why 2023 we're focusing on embodying a championship mindset. I'm so looking forward to this year. I know we are going to do amazing things together as an organization. Thank you already for all that you're going to contribute, and let's have an amazing 2023.